New into stock we have a Mercedes-Benz Vito 2.1 115 CDI. It's a sport and it's a long wheelbase panel van. 2009 on an 09 plate, and it's quite an unusual thing because it's also automatic as well. We've no fuel consumption figures for this because of course it depends what you're carrying, but the vehicle has done 42,355 miles and it's got a full service history which I'll read out to you in a second. Just had it MOT'd, so that will run out or expire on the 22nd of the 5th 2019. Really nice van to drive. I'll just take you for a ride in it. First thing, the vehicle's got air conditioning, which is a godsend. It has Artico leather, which is man-made leather, Mercedes-Benz stuff. It looks like leather, but it's easier to clean, it's harder wearing, so it's not a disadvantage. It's a plus if anything. I'll just show you the service history. So that's 3rd of the 12th 2008 at 5 miles. That was the PDI, obviously. Mercedes-Benz Sicily commercials, and then 6,551 on the 17th of the 4th 2010 Sicily commercials. 14,769 miles 21st of 5th 2012 Sicily commercials. 21,128 miles 9th of the 4th 2014 Sicily commercials. Then it was done at Barry and Wilkinson Tires at Leyland. That was at 31,072 miles on the 2nd of the 3rd 2016. And we have just done it, and also an MOT, on the 22nd of the 5th 2018 at 42,449, and it's done 42,455 miles now. So it's got a proper service history. It's an unusual van, mainly for the fact it's automatic. It's a long wheelbase, it's got a tow bar, very, very nice cabin. I'll take you for a ride in it. And we've also got this aftermarket Sony radio, which has also got a reversing camera, which is very, very handy. Just take that out of there as well. Another thing nice to see, we've got the book pack. Not often you see it with vans because usually the invoices get sent to the accountants and then they're filed away in the archives, so you never get to see the invoices. So we've got all the books. We've got the service book, and then we've got quite a few invoices here. Now, with these new GDPR rules, I'm not sure how we go on with these anymore, because obviously it's got the previous customer's name and address on, and seeing as you can't even have that on a logbook now, what do you do with the old invoices? And with this stupid digital service history thing that everybody seems to be moving towards, how on earth are you going to find anything these days? Nobody can give you any information. So hopefully we will be allowed to keep all of these, because that tells you the provenance of the van. It helps us check it as well. So we've got a height and reach adjustable steering wheel. It has a tailgate on the back. It's a solid tailgate, and to be honest, it comes up very slowly to about there, and then it flies up. So you do need to be careful with it not cracking you under the chin. Got electric door mirrors here. And they're both working. Twin side loading doors. Now the back has got racking in it. It is ply lined and it's got some racking in it, but the racking will come out easy enough. So if you don't want it, then there's no problem taking it out. It's a good tidy van, and I do know they drive well. When I was sales manager at Mercedes-Benz, my company car was costing me a fortune every month, and it was either sat outside my house at night or sat outside work during the day. So and it was costing hundreds of pounds a month in company car tax, whereas a Vito van was £500 for a year. So I started using a Vito. They drive as good as a car, or not quite as good as a car, but certainly acceptable. And just to tell you, next week I'm going away to Sorrento, and every time we go there's a guy there, a local chauffeur called Renato, and he has one of these with seats in. Now he'll be taking us up the Amalfi Drive, dropping us off at Positano, dropping us off for lunch somewhere. There are 500 bends on the Amalfi Drive. Renato will be driving one of these. I'll be sat in the passenger seat, and I'll be very, very comfortable. The steering's great on them, but the good thing is the comfort. And as I say, with this we've got a bulkhead here, so your air conditioning, the heater heats it up quick rather than heating all the back up, and the air conditioning cools it down quick. You've got your own little eco climate in the front, and now we just switched it on back there. It's a hot day in the UK, and it's lovely in here. I've not got the fan blasting out like I'd have to if we were cooling all the cargo as well. We've got cruise control. This has a big roof rack, full length, very, very well made roof rack on. I would imagine it certainly hold ladders and quite a bit of weight. However, I don't think it'll do a whole lot for your fuel economy, and also wind noise. So we'll see what it's like on the motorway, but I'm expecting a bit of wind noise from the roof. We'll see. Talking of wind noise, here we've got wind deflectors just at the top of the windows, so you can have the windows down without getting blasted in here. And that's on passenger and driver's side. Not so much noise so far. Again, one of the biggest pluses I can see, whenever you pull alongside a van at traffic lights and there's 3 people in and it's a hot day, the middle one's always got his legs up there somewhere because there's not a whole lot of room down there. So with an automatic, you don't have to keep reaching over here to change gear. That's it. You can give him his personal space, and he can put his legs wherever he wants. So automatic with with the bench seat, the 3-seater is a must. With the automatic, if you so desire, you can also use it as semi-automatic by knocking the gear lever to the left to change down and to the right to change up. Bags of room. We've got an armrest here. So we've got height adjustable steering wheel. In fact, I can't remember, is it? Yeah, height and reach adjustable steering wheel. It's the funny Mercedes-Benz handbrake, which is actually a foot brake. It's not as good as a handbrake, but it's a heck of a lot better than an electric parking brake. At least you know when it's on, and you've no problems with it. If you're on a hill, you can always give it that extra thrutch, whereas with an electric parking brake, you touch it and it's there's no feel to it. We'll just go past this transporter. Now, it is a very clean van, but there is a little bit of damage on the vehicle. We thought about doing it, but to do it, we would need to put the price up. No M6, long delays, we'll go another way. We could have done the bodywork. There's a couple of scratches on the passenger door and on the rear bumper corner. Now we'll leave it up to whoever buys it. If it's going to be somebody's pride and joy, like it has been obviously now, then we can negotiate to do the bodywork. If it's not, if it's going to be a work vehicle and you're not going to be bothered, then obviously you'd rather have the money. If it's going to get another ding on this side next week, then it's you know, the money's better in your pocket. So we're doing 70 there. So just set cruise to 70, doing 2,500 revs, 70 miles an hour, pretty quiet. And of course it's a lot quieter having a bulkhead and you don't hear all the drumming in the back. It's also lined here, so you've got your electric windows on the right hand side here, your lights, side and headlights, main beam is just here along with the wipers. Nice and smooth. As I say, the aircon's blasting cool air out, so that's really good. We have got wind noise off the roof bars, but again, if you need them, you're going to have to put up with the wind noise. If you don't, you can take them off. Slow down here. There's a white van waiting to go past. Buzzard there, flying lazy circles, beautiful thing. So you've got Bluetooth hands-free as well. You've also got audio streaming, which I'll do a video how to use, because I'm not really one for reading the instruction books, and I had to fiddle about with it to get the audio streaming to work. Sat nav as well. There you go, I'll just so that's Dolly Parton. And it's got the TomTom sat nav. It's the van drives very, very nice, and as I've said with other vans, and I've actually used one of these daily to travel to Blackpool or to and from Blackpool. Very handy. It wouldn't really bother me if this was my daily user. I'd be quite happy. Well, I wouldn't, but for the purposes of this video, I'd be quite happy. Quite good acceleration. Well, we've also got side steps. They're probably more protection bars, but they can be used as side steps, and the big thick bars which protect your sills on building sites and so on, but just help you get in as well and get in perhaps the back. The big thick tow bar. It's a nice van. A lot of people these days converting this sort of thing, especially with it being a long wheelbase, to camper vans. And again, this could be made into a nice camper van. Miles an hour, 1600 revs. Took me a bit to work that out. It's remote central locking. Also got alloy wheels, so from the outside it's a real good looking thing. There's also the previous owner has put daylight running lights or daytime running lights. They're set into the front bumper. Quite a bumpy road. The ride isn't too bad, considering it's got to be very hard to get suspension to work equally as well when there's a ton in the back as when there's just a single driver with a light payload, especially with the amount of speed bumps we have around here these days. So if I knock it down from drive, that's into fourth. So it's a 5-speed automatic gearbox, which is pretty good. Give you a reasonable fuel economy and good acceleration as well. Back at the garage. When we get there, I'll show you how to use the sat nav, the Bluetooth hands-free, and also the audio streaming, and knock any previous phones that aren't being used or old phones. Here we are back at the garage.